And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Well, hello and welcome to the Weighing In podcast, where my man, the guy I'm calling PRTT from now on, the Punk is gone. It is PRTT Thompson. Permanent resident of Texas Thompson. A man who's moved has had to do all this work, and he's actually here to work with me on the podcast. What's up, my man? How you feeling? A little tired?
Feeling great, man. We had a great time last night here in Frisco, Texas. We had a great time. Celebrated some time with some friends that are here locally, and
4th of July.
It's been great, man. The weather was awesome, man. It was great last night. It was about 94, slight breeze. Great for some Kona ice and some some barbecue and brisket. Was pretty nice last night too. We had a great time. Live music. No, we didn't do beer. I told myself when I got here I'd probably dial it back a lot on the drinking and all this stuff. I don't normally drink anyways when I'm not out on the road with you guys. But I don't know.
So I'm the bad influence. Hold on, you're gonna go with I'm the bad influence.
People don't realize John's kind of a bad influence.
In so many ways.
So, but we were talking off air, and I said, I'm really excited the fact that I actually live pretty close now to Podcast Dave. So as much as I give Dave a hard time, I would love to go down and just kind of give him a hug now. Kind of miss the guy, man. Haven't seen him in a long time.
We were talking about you going down there so you could slap the shit out of him. And then all of a sudden it turned into a hug. You're getting soft, I know. Dude. 45 years of age, man, nothing but a marshmallow.
So crazy, right? John, I'm almost 50, man. I've got to start dialing it back. I got to dial it back a little bit. I'm almost 50, man. I'm almost 50. So
okay.
It's just, I got to find all the little locations though. Like, I've got to find a new place to get a haircut because my hair is fucking out of control right now. It's crazy. So I got to do a haircut here. Hat. Yeah, hence the backwards hat. Yeah. And, but I'm excited. And, I was digging through my clothes though, and I found this shirt that I really like, man. The Barbell shirt, this new company. That's pretty awesome. I
Barbell's
like it.
A good clothing company.
Yeah, man, they got some good stuff. I was pretty surprised when I put it on. I was like, oh, it fits good. And then, they sent me over some jeans and some shorts.
Chael used to pump up Barbell.
Oh, really? Which is kind of funny because I've been, obviously, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram and @TheRealPunk. I give Chael some of his fashion tips as we found out in Chicago.
Dude,
I was trying to give him some fashion tips. It's hilarious. He sent me a video right before he was ready to come to the fights. He goes, hey man, I wanted to let you know I was going to wear these, but they're just killing my feet. He's like, I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. So he's like, I'm going to take them off. He's like, but I want to let you know I was getting ready to leave the room and I was going to wear them, but then they started hurting my feet. So I'm taking them off. So I sent him a video with me in my suit and my tie and my pocket square. And I've got all my clips and all this other crap. I'm like, bro, we don't do it because we love it. We do it for the gram, baby. We do it for the style. This is what you do it for. You do it for the recognition and the pictures.
Points. It's the value
I'm like, points. What are you talking about? I'm like, bro, you're a savage, Chael. You're a savage, Uncle Chael. Like, you have to understand what you got to go through. You're a wrestler, man. You come from a background.
Put up with a little discomfort in the feet.
So I see him at the fights, and he's got them on. He still has the shoes on. He's like, bro, I was about to take them off. I left him on for you. I left him on for you. If you guys want to see that video, it's on my Instagram. Check it out. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty fun. Chael and I banter back and forth quite a bit, but it was one of those moments I couldn't let slip by because he gets a lot of his fashion tips from me. So ever since we first started working together, and he came in jeans and like this old raggedy blazer and like a shirt that looked like it hadn't been ironed. I'm like, Chael, what are you doing, man? I know my wife. She hates it. His wife's like, I hate it. I hate the way he dresses.
His wife is a dime piece. His wife is the nicest.
She's
person.
So sweet.
She's a sweetheart. She's gorgeous. She's smart, except she's married to Chael.
He's got 2 beautiful kids too, a little boy and a little girl. They're just absolutely amazing. But just great people, man. I think he gets I don't think people understand how much of a shtick it is. He's such a good person, such a nice guy.
He's such a good person. Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about, man. I know last week, the show we filmed before this, I was kind of in a haze. I was trying to get used to the time change. My face was swollen still from the drive. When I drive through the night, John, what do? I do sunflower seeds, which has salt.
Oh, yeah.
And so not only does travel swell you up, but man, I went through probably two big, like the big bags of spits. I went through 2 big bags of those, and man, I felt just my tongue was raw, still salty.
Yeah, oh, dude, that's the worst part is, man, on the inside of your mouth after biting down on those things, it's like,
oh yeah.
But they keep you awake.
They do. Nothing. I've tried, John. I love to road trip, right? I'm a road tripper. Like, I don't care about flying a whole lot. I'll road trip anywhere. I love it. I'll drive all the way across the country because I love it. I love just seeing
But I will fall
the other
asleep
thing is
if
people.
I'm not
If I'm not chewing on sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
But people don't take the time to stop, take photos, do this, do that. Like I do like to just rip through at times. Like this trip from California here, I ripped through to get here so we could film by Monday morning. So I ripped through as fast as I could. But majority of the time, last year when I drove here, I stopped at the Hoover Dam. I stopped at the Grand Canyon. I took a helicopter ride into the canyon. I did, we stopped at all these locations. Cool. Stopped at River in Flagstaff and Preston. We stopped, in Sedona and those areas there just to kind of take the sights in. Had a great time. I had a blast. This time I just ripped through, but man, I'm excited to make the drive from Texas to Idaho up to North Idaho where some of my family still is. Ooh. We do that. It's about 24 to 25 hours.
That's a long drive.
That drive through, but it was 24 to get here because of all the traffic getting out of San Jose because of the 4th of July weekend.
All right. What states are you going to be going? Hold on. What states will you be going through to go from the Dallas area, we'll say, towards Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah, you would go Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma, probably cut up through like Utah, Denver, and then up through the bottom of Boise.
Up through Colorado.
Colorado, yep. I said states. I said Denver. But yeah, I'd kind of it'd probably make like a zigzag. But also, I would do it where I try to find locations to see that are all kind of in a straight line.
Well,
like when I went to the Grand Canyon, that took me about.
If you're gonna drive through Utah, you've got to go through There's 3 national parks there. There's Bryce, there's Zion, and there's Moab that are down. Moab's down in the corner there. You need to go to Moab. That is freaking phenomenal.
I heard there's a beautiful lake out there. I've got to visit.
Bear Lake.
There's a beautiful lake out there. I got to visit.
Yeah, I used to have a cabin there. Yeah. See, now Bear Lake is if you go up through Logan, where Utah State is. There's a road that takes you from Logan through the mountains to Bear Lake, which is now right on the border of Idaho. And Bear Lake is phenomenal. You'll see right there. If you look where he's at, you see that little splash right there?
Yeah.
You see the Big Salt Lake City, it says in the Big Salt Lake. Look at just a little bit to the right, Dave. You see that blue little thing right on the border? That's Bear Lake.
Yep.
And
that's Idaho. Gorgeous. That's right above Idaho, right below Idaho.
So Idaho
part in Idaho and part.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's gorgeous right there.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're looking. I want to kind of hit up through that area. So I'll probably go Oklahoma, through Denver through Utah.
Will you quit?
Utah,
it's Colorado
as well.
But you're going to go through Denver.
Whatever, Colorado. I keep saying Denver. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So it'll be.
Have you done the 4 points before?
So you know what? I wanted to go the last time we drove here. The only problem with it is that it's way out of the way, and all the reviews I read, they're like, "Yeah, it wasn't worth the drive." You do it for the picture.
It is out of the way.
It is out of the way, and I heard you just do it for the picture. It's like put your feet in one side, you put your hands on the other sides, and like that's really all it is. And then there's nothing really around it.
Stick your ass up in the air, and someone's gonna put something.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably do the crab walk kind of position. Yeah. maybe put my Peter in the air. Oh man. All right, well, let's get into some of this fight talk, John. We got UFC 290 coming up. It's a big time show.
This is one of those ones where you look and you go, this is the one I don't mind spending the money on because you never know exactly how a show's going to come out. But the promotion and the matchmakers who work for them, they have put it out there. They have tried to put together a massive card, and they have. It looks fantastic. If it's half as good as what the build up and what you're seeing with the fights that they've put up, it should be a great show.
Yeah, I can't see this show not being a great show. If we scroll down in some of these fights, scroll up for me there, Dave. I'm getting down into the bottom part. Like Menafield versus Crute is going to be a good fight. Excuse me. And then obviously Jack Della Maddalena. I know he's got a replacement that's coming in, but he's 7-0.
Yeah, but Josiah Harrell is good. It's tough. He's a knockout guy.
People don't realize he's good. He's got also a couple submission wins. So you got some good fights on here, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Obviously, the main card is stacked.
You got that other young kid from South Africa, Simon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone was telling me he's pretty damn good, and I'm trying to recall the last time I saw him fight. He's damn
good. He's fun to watch. Cameron Saman. He's taking on Terrence Mitchell.
But who did he fight last? Because he had a fight in the UFC.
He's had a couple.
Right now.
Yeah, does he? Yeah, he does.
He's had a couple. He's only 22 years of age.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you go. So he took on Steven Kozlow and won by TKO, and then he had a fight against Martinez.
I think I saw the Martinez fight because I just saw it. I remember him having
forth tough fight, but then he took over.
Yeah, but he's also the kid he's a little bit more more upright in his stand up.
Yeah.
He stands up a little bit more upright. He doesn't look like he physically has matured yet. I believe he's young. Look how old he is.
22.
What is he, like 20?
He's 22.
Yeah, he's young.
He's 22.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. Yeah, he's young. Now, don't let me wrong. Look at this picture. He looks fucking shredded. So I'm putting my foot in my mouth here. But as I recall, though, when I saw him fight, I didn't feel like maybe his facial features or whatever it was. He didn't seem like he was fully matured yet. At 22 years old, he's definitely not. I think he's definitely not. He's got some room to grow. He's 22. He's young. Hey, I'm just simply saying.
But he's not.
He's a young,
he's not like Chase
very
Hooper.
talented prospect. Yeah. No. But Chase, I believe, is going to just hit a. He's going to fill out here real soon.
Oh, he is.
He's going to be a fucking problem for people.
No doubt.
As long as he doesn't keep taking as many shots as he's been taking as of lately.
He doesn't get a little too damaged before that time comes.
He's a phenomenal.
All right, let's talk about
fucking badass.
He's a tough kid. That's part of when he says he's the son of Ben Askren. I love that.
Oh, he's great.
He plays that whole thing up great.
He's awesome.
But,
all right, let's get into the main event.
You got the main event with, you got to say, definitely one of the guys that, if you're going to look at the pound for pound best in MMA right now, Alexander Volkanovski is definitely one of those guys that you would put on that list. But I'll tell you what, his opponent is not much below that in Yair Rodriguez. Yair is dynamic. He's just gotten better and better over time. There was that point where I was like, look, he's good, but he's got his weaknesses. Frankie Edgar kind of exposed that, and he went and fixed it. He is so much better with his takedown defense. I'm not saying that I believe that Alexander Volkanovski is your favorite in this. The matchmakers, he's going to be the favorite, but Yair Rodriguez has every possibility of being the guy to dethrone Volkanovski if Volkanovski makes a mistake. This is a great matchup. I mean, the whole interim championship doesn't mean anything, and people need to understand. Look, when they go into this, there is no interim champion. There's a champion. It's Volkanovski. Yair won that belt, and that belt gives him the ability to fight for the real belt. But this is as good a matchup as you can find.
Oh, absolutely. I think all the things that Volkanovski does very well, Yair has an answer for. He's got great takedowns. Volk does. But Yair is pretty damn good off his back. And he's actually, like you said, remedied that situation of him defending the takedowns. He's dangerous on the feet. Volkanovski's fast with the hands. He's got good kicks, as we saw against Max Holloway. But can he avoid being kicked as much as he's going to be kicked by Yair Rodriguez? Because he is, to me, the better kicker. And he's slick with the hands. He's got crafty little things up his sleeve, as Zombie found out. Yair Rodriguez is the full package all the way around. He's dangerous. It's just hard, John. It's really hard for me to go against someone like Volkanovski. It's just really hard. I mean, everything he does, everything. And plus, like I said, his last loss, you guys can split it how you want. Obviously, I had Islam winning. That was on me. But I'm saying The judges had Islam winning also. But Volk, though, you walked away from that. If anything, him and his coaches and his corners, everything, sure, they want that fight back. But you walk away from that fight going,
he didn't
I just
lose
basically,
anything.
No, he didn't lose anything. Absolutely not.
There you go.
Absolutely not. And you look at someone like Yair Rodriguez and you go, yeah, this guy doesn't do anything that Islam, I mean, he doesn't kick as much as, or he kicks more than Islam does. But man, the speed's going to be a little bit of a factor, I think, with Yair. Yair's going to be able to touch the speed. The calf kicks are going to be a problem right off the bat. Volk's got to be careful of the spinning attacks and all the little funky, quirky things. That little upward elbow, the way he the way he does his tricks. He'll throw the bottom low kick, inside low kick, and then come back up top to the head kick. He'll use 3 kicks in a row where a lot of people won't do that. So
right.
Alex is going to have his hands full with someone who is just crafty on the feet and not afraid to be on their back these days, John.
I don't. You're absolutely right, but he does not want to be on his back with Volkanovski.
No,
that is not a good place for him to be. And I know you're not saying that. Oh, he'll take it there on purpose. He won't take it there on purpose, and he can fight his way out of it. But if he ends up on his back too much against Volkanovski, that's going to tell you exactly which way this fight is going. Volkanovski's got great base balance, his ability to deliver damaging shots when he is in the top position. A lot of guys will, get in that top position and they'll throw a lot of shots, none of them damaging. Volkanovski throws damaging shots. He throws with power. He postures. He does all the right things. It's going to be incumbent upon Yair to stop those things, to break that posture, to not let him do those things that he normally gets to do. And then, it's the one part that you look at. I do think that Yair has the ability to throw on a submission. But Brian Ortega tried to submit Volkanovski. And I just, if Brian Ortega gets as deep as he was on 2 submissions and can't get those, I don't think Yair is going to get that submission on Volkanovski either.
Yeah, John, I start looking at the betting odds here. We normally do weighing in on the odds for pay-per-views. We've got away from them for a little bit after we kind of parted ways with one of our sponsors after they were having some issues paying people out. So we decided to part ways. But in this situation here, I've got to talk about some of the betting odds, man. You got Alex Volk is minus 160. And you got Yair at plus 120. I mean, to me, that's a lot closer than I would have thought.
That's almost close to even. Let's just be honest. That is, with a guy that has had the run that Volkanovski has had in the featherweight division, that's telling the odds makers believe that Yair has a very good chance here. And he does, but I take a look at that and I go, I think it's too close too. There's no way that in my mind, you can tell me that Volkanovski is not, in a position to be a minus 200.
Okay, I take that back. Let me retract that, ladies and gentlemen. It was at the minus 5.5 and then the plus 5.5. So over the rounds is what they were talking about.
Oh,
the actual odds are actually, the actual odds are a lot different. So Volk is minus 380 and then Yair is plus 290. That's a little bit more.
Sounds about
I was surprised that it was
Yes.
so close. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the left side of that bracket. Yeah, so you have Volk at minus 380 and you've got Yair Rodriguez at plus 290. I mean, look, if I'm feeling a little, and I'm not saying that Volk is going to lose, and absolutely, I actually am leaning a lot more towards Volk.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was going to be a betting man,
If you're going to take a chance.
I would take a chance. And the reason being is Alexander Volkanovski's fought a lot of great guys. He's fought they're all the best guys in the world. And he's made them all look average. But none of them have been as unpredictable as Yair. Think about the zombie fight, the little upward elbow. Think about the spinning, what are they called? The rolling thunder kicks. All of those type of things play a factor, and you don't know when the punch and the kicks are coming. And so I look at what Yair brings to the table, and if I was a betting man, I'd probably throw it on at plus 290. I'd probably throw it on $50. And just figure out what, how it all works out from there. I mean, I wouldn't go heavy on it. I'd go $50. I mean, hey, there's ways for Yair to win this fight. Get started early and often with the calf kick. I also think that even if Volk does get the takedown, I don't think he'll spend a lot of time from the top position because there is a submission threat there. And as it starts to get slick, he may go there a little bit more often, like later on in the fight. But I think early in the fight, he's not going to go there as much as we maybe think he will. He'll get the takedown, control the top position. And as they're still kind of dry in that first round, I think he'll back out of the guard, let him back up, or he'll just keep grinding on him, avoid the submission. Maybe let him get up, so it takes away the guard and the submission positions for Yair off of his back. And then just mat return him back down. And as the fight goes on, he'll start feeling a little bit more slick about being inside the guard, slippery, a little bit harder for him to get the submissions, to secure them in because you are slippery. So, but if I was a betting man, I'd throw a little $50 down on Yair. Now, in no way am I saying, guys, let's not kind of change what I'm trying to say. I believe that Volk is going to win this fight. And nothing against Yair. I just believe it's hard to bet against somebody like Volkanovski, who's made all the other guys he's fought look average.
But you are.
Oh, John. John over here stirring the pot, man. John
But you
over here
are.
stirring the pot.
I'm not
No.
stirring anything. It was your words. I'd put $50 down on your. I'm telling you right now.
I would.
I would never put money against Alexander Volkanovski. That dude is just
a dog.
fucking stud. And he's that good that he can fight with anyone.
Let me ask
And
you this.
This is his weight class right now.
I agree. But let me ask you this, though, John. You know that when fighters are on a run and their mentality is like, I can't be beat. I'm the champ. I can't be beat. And then they go and they do what they do. He went up into the weight class, came off away with the loss. We look at it like nothing's changed. He hasn't lost any ground. But then now you go back down. Is your mental really the same as it was before you went up? I don't think it is. Anytime you lose, anytime a champion or a fighter loses and they're riding at the top, their mentality changes a little bit. Like, man, I did lose my last fight.
I agree with you. But with guys like Volkanovski, this is what triggers him to have that next performance. Because I want to show everyone. Look, I think in my mind, if I'm Volkanovski, I'm saying, look, I didn't lose that fight against Islam. The judges may have thought I lost. I didn't lose it. I was right there. You're saying that guy is the best lightweight in the world, and I fucking was with him every fucking step of the way. In fact, I want you to watch the way the fight ended. Who was the guy that wanted to get out of that cage, and who was the guy that wanted to be there? So that's where I'm at with my mentality there. But I am pissed off that I have a loss and that people actually think that they can beat me. And I'm going to go prove. Don't even fucking think of the possibility of beating me. Yair Rodriguez, you had a great fight against Josh Emmett. I watched it. It was great. Great performance. Now I'm going to crush you and let everyone know the difference between the real champ and the guy that won the interim. That's right. That's the way I look at Alexander Volkanovski.
Okay, you just said all that, but then how does Volkanovski get it done then? Because on the feet, Yair's a little bit probably better of the fighter.
He does not have his power. He does not have his power.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I agree with you. But I mean, so how does he finish him?
Flash. How does he finish him? He hurts him. He knocks him out. Look, everything is about breaking somebody down. Everything's about breaking somebody down, and that takes time.
You guys heard it here first. John's saying that Volk's going to knock him out. Interesting.
I think Volk's going to get it.
John, you're going to TKO him.
TKO.
Wow.
I'm going late rounds TKO. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And this is nothing against Yair. I think he's fucking great, but he's fighting a different animal with Volkanovski. Volkanovski will not back off of anything that Yair throws at him. He will feel the power of Yair, and he does have to be careful, like you're saying, about some of the flash that he throws it with and the style and the fact that he'll double and triple up on times that most guys will not.
Yeah.
He's going to end up being on top of him. And in those moments, that damage, once it's happened in the fight, you're not the same. And then it just starts to degrade, and it's going to keep happening. And I'm not saying that, look, I think Yair Rodriguez is a phenomenal fighter right now. One of the best in the featherweight division. It's not his time yet.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you this. How does Yair get it done?
I didn't say he was. I said he's going to lose.
I'm asking. No, I want to know. I want to know how you think. I
you're-
want to know
you're the
how
one
Yair is getting it done.
You're the one putting the money on Yair. Look at the
I'm
way-
asking you. I'm asking you a simple question. Don't
How
deflect,
do you
John.
think Yair gets it done? I'm not deflecting. I'm telling you, I don't think he does. I don't
There's
think
no
he
way.
does
There's
get it
no
done.
way of him getting it done. There's no
Yes,
way for him to get it done. Tell
Hold
me
on.
how.
There is
Tell me how,
a way
John.
for him to get it done, but I've never seen Volkanovski fall prey to it. I've never seen Volkanovski be the guy that backed
How
off.
is that though? How is that way though, John? Tell me the way.
In
John,
my
I'm
opinion,
asking.
for Rodriguez to win, he's got to control the range and be the guy that is on the outside picking Volkanovski apart. That is not going to happen.
Okay. So you're saying just stick and move, keep his back foot off the fence. Use his
Absolutely.
speed, mixing up the combinations, inside, outside, leg kicks, head kicks, all those things, mixed in with the punches.
Touch. Here, did you watch a fight between a guy that's a phenomenal featherweight fighter and Patricio Pitbull lose to a guy who everyone was saying he's gonna beat in Sergio Pettis? And I told you, how does he do it? How does he get it done? He does it by just touch.
Yep.
Don't try to knock him out. Don't get into a fucking firefight with him. Make him frustrated. You have more speed than him. Make him be the guy that is guessing. And that's what
Dave, back to the betting odds. Back to the betting odds. So if you're looking at the betting odds, no, minus 380, plus 290. Over is a minus 4.5, is minus 110, and then under 4.5 is minus 120. How are you betting on that? Are you betting any of those, or are you just letting it ride? Would you take a bet on that? I know you're already high on Volk, so would you take a bet on? Would you go on Volk?
I can't say that I would bet on that because I do think it's going to be somewhere in that fourth round. I think somewhere midway fourth round is about the time that if Volk is going to be able to get rid of him, that's about the time that he would be able to. So it's if they had done it 3.5, I'd say I'd go over. But they're right on that sweet spot for me where I'm going, it's 4.5. It's in the middle.
What about
on
the minus 380? You taking? It's just too much at risk to win $100. Yeah, not a chance. I mean, because Yair could get it done.
If you're saying minus 380,
anything can happen.
Well, I'd put money. I'd put 500 down on Volkanovski.
You put 500 down on Volk?
Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Must be nice to be money bags. Woo, 500.
Big money bags.
100.
I lost all my money in that party.
100. In the fireworks display. Jeez, man. That grand finale was nice.
Fucking A, baby. If you're going to do something, do it right.
Got to do it right. All right. Well, look, I mean, like I said, I'm definitely going with Volk, but I think Yair, I think if he gets started early and often with those calf kicks, it can start to change the way that Volk fights. I also think that if he's going to have success, not just the calf kick, he's going to have to go calf kick up to head kick to keep Volk's hands loyal to his chin. Because if he just keeps going to the legs, Volk's going to start being able to just catch the leg, get the easy takedowns, control the top position.
What about going to the arms?
He's going to have to throw. I'm okay with going to the arms as well. It's just keeping his hands loyal to his chin. Because if you're not going to the head, then it just gives him the freedom to go ahead and tee off whenever you want.
But
so he's going to have to go to the head quite a bit.
Do you think that Yair should attack those arms and shoulders to try to take some of the sting out of what Volkanovski's able to throw?
I think he should, because I think Volk's going to end up wrestling quite a bit in the second, third rounds. He's going to start trying to slow Yair down a little bit, try to clinch him to the fence, dirty box him, grind him out a little bit. And then when he can't control against the fence, he'll just back away right away, give him the space. Volk's going to have to fight him all the way out or all the way in. He can't fight him in that middle between spot. So he's got to be all the way out of the range or all the way in the range, just being dirty and grimy with them, uppercuts, clinching the head, knees, getting on the legs, trying to hit takedowns, trying to lift the single leg, keep him off balance, keep him guessing. And we've seen that Volk's got the conditioning to do that. He's got that for 5 rounds. He can do that hard for 5 rounds. It doesn't matter what weight class you're in, this guy can do it. Where I'm looking at Volk, though, is that he's got to be very cautious and careful of those up kicks, those Lyoto Machida up kicks to the face because of the height and how fast Yair gets that foot up to the face. He'll mix that in. He'll go push kick up the middle. So as you try to parry it down, he's going to go head kick to the outside of the other leg. So he's going to be snapping it up and then coming back around to the head kick, keep those hands loyal to his chin. Those are the things that I look at when I'm looking at a top level striker versus someone of the height of Volkanovski. Now, I know everyone in the comments is going to go, hey, Volk's been dealing with this height his whole life. And so I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
I was going to say it. I was going to say it right now. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
He's been fighting guys taller than him throughout his career.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's never been a problem.
No, it's never been a problem. I know he's fought some great strikers, but just Yair, the trickiness of him and the way he puts it together. And look, he's at this level for a reason. He's, number 3, number 2, whatever it is. He's there for a reason because he's crafty, he's slick, he's good at everything he does. And the UFC's been backing him for a while, even when they got mad at him and he left and and then he came back. All of those things, they brought him back because they knew there was something there in him, and he's got it.
Oh, he
does have the it factor. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing he's going to bring something new to the table also in this fight. He's going to bring something that no one's ever seen. I believe that because this is his one. I believe so. This is his chance to do something that no one's ever seen in a top level fight against who many people believe is the pound for pound best fighter right now in the UFC against Volk. He's going to do it. He's going to do something. I'm not saying he's winning. I'm saying that he's going to do something crafty that no one's ever seen to keep people guessing.
Well, he already did bring something new to the table, and it was a customized belt.
Look at that. That's pretty.
What the hell is that?
Yeah,
that's pretty different.
He customized it's based on like a family. You know how like in the Mexican culture they've got like all the colorful stuff. I don't really know a ton, but it's based on that movie Coco where they've got like the the skeleton people and it's all like the colorful stuff. Mm-hmm. It's based on the family from that movie. He brought the belt and he customized the belt and he brought it out to show. So I thought it was kind of cool. That's a little bit of culture there.
It's kind of interesting that they can you buy them that way? Because they're not cheap belts. The belts are normally about 15, 20 grand.
No, they're not.
Well, someone hand did this with
that's somebody took
paint.
his belt and did that on top of it.
I wonder how they did that. They painted it? Did they just dye the leather?
No, it's like plant-based.
I don't think
it's plant-based paint.
It looks like it's is it paint?
Yeah,
I'm looking at
he was very clear.
It almost looks like he bedazzled it. I'm serious.
No, that's the jewels in the belt, buddy. That's the real jewels in the belt.
Yeah, that's the real jewels now.
It
doesn't look like paint, dude. It looks like gemstones.
No, he was saying that it's he said it's a plant-based paint that you put into it.
Yeah, it's like all natural kind of paints that he was talking about.
Whatever, man.
Okay, well,
that's the one he has. So
natural plant-based stuff all his life. So
yeah, and hey, whatever you want to do. I look at this fight though. It's to me, it's going to be a fantastic fight. I have yet to really seen Volk in a bad fight. Just to be honest.
Hello,
give me a fight that you felt. Outside of maybe the third. Was it the third? How many times has he fought Max?
The
3?
second. The second Max Holloway fight he was a little flat compared.
Yeah, but still, regardless, I'm saying but then in the third fight he was so dominant that it kind of was a little like But look, overall, I've yet to see him in a real bad fight. He's phenomenal. He's good all the way around. He does a fantastic job of imposing his will. For someone who's small in stature but aggressive, speed is all there, all those things. Yair's got his hands full, there's no doubt about it. But don't be surprised if Yair pulls some things out of his sleeve that we've never seen before. I'm not saying they're going to work and get the knockout, but I'm saying that he's crafty like that. He's real crafty. So I'm looking forward to this fight a lot, John.
I am all for next week. You sit there going, "I told you so." And I'll say, you know what? You were right, but I'm not going against Volkanovski.
I'm not going against Volk either. Stop trying to paint that picture, John. Jeez. I'm trying to give Yair the love, buddy. I'm trying to give him the love.
You are trying to give him the love, and that's okay. That's okay. People need love, especially after they lose to someone like Volkanovski.
What a guy.
All right. Brandon Moreno taking on a guy he has fought in the past in Alexandre Pantoja. I remember this fight very well the first time they met up, which was in the tough house, basically, as they would say. But now Brandon is a different fighter. Brandon is a much more experienced fighter. Brandon is he was a dog then. He's just a more experienced and well-trained dog now. Pantoja's got his hands full, but Pantoja he's dangerous everywhere. He's got good stand-up. His ground game's fantastic. I'm really happy that this is the fight they put together. You know, we've seen a lot of Moreno versus Figueiredo. Yeah. This is this is a fight that should have taken place because Pantoja did have the win over Brandon, and that's been sitting there for a while. So,
well, you said when you started this conversation, you said, "Oh, he's got a lot more experience now. He's a lot better now. All of those things." But you know what he is now, though, too. He's a champion. He's been a champion, multiple times over. It's been a dog fight for him.
I agree.
This can be a really, really uphill battle for Pantoja. And I know, sure, you got the win over him. Look, different times, different things have happened in between. The experience that Moreno's gathered in those fights with Figgy, and then his other fight in the middle there with Kai Car Fronts, those fights there, they just gave him the confidence. They gave him everything he needed to prove that to himself. Like, hey, I'm 20% better because I am the champion. I've trained these 5-round camps. I've done all this. There's nothing you're going to bring to the table that I haven't seen training for Figgy or for training for Kai or training for other fight. Like, I've done it all. And yeah. I like Pantoja as a fighter. I think he's a fantastic fighter. This is one of those uphill battles as well. I can't see Moreno doing all that and then getting back to Pantoja. This is like a notch on. He's like, I'm a notch on your belt. Moreno's thinking to himself,
do me a favor,
this is the
Dave,
fight I want to get back.
Pull up Pantoja's record. Because I want to say that just the level of, take a look at the guys that he's been fighting, though. All right. So as you're looking down now, he's got a loss to Devitt, to Figueiredo. A win over Schnell, very good stand-up. Win over Cape. Win over Brandon Royval, who I think is a fantastic fighter. Win over Alex Perez. We know how good he is with the hands, but gets the neck crank. Go down there. Keep on going down. Go past Sasaki. See, and that's the whole thing is, it wasn't only in the one. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I want you to go to the point where they don't have it in there. Damn it. Why don't they have it in there? Bruno Moreno. Okay.
Is it exhibition?
Where's no? Keep on going to exhibition. There you go. Look at. So he's got the win over Brandon in an exhibition fight in the Ultimate Fighter, and he's got a win in the UFC over Brandon Moreno. You think that might be playing a little bit in the back of Brandon Moreno's mind because he's got submission, rear naked choke, right, and then go up. Dave, go up.
To where?
To where you see him fighting Brandon Moreno again. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Got a ways to go.
Right there.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, he's also got to win over Kai Car France.
Yeah, he does.
John's thinking.
John's thinking.
I'm just looking. I'm Dude, Pantoja he's got his number almost. You can look and say, this is a guy that believes that this guy can't beat me.
Yeah,
I've got
true.
2 wins against him. Okay, yeah, the second one was a decision, but I won that one, and I won it cleanly. The first one was a submission that I got him. I know how to beat Brandon. Brandon doesn't know how to beat me.
Some fighters just have kryptonite, man. Some fighters are someone else's
Boy, it
kryptonite.
is.
That may work out that way, but like I said, where guys like Perez, guys like Royval, guys like Manal Cop, those guys, they're fantastic fighters. Royval to me is one of my favorites. Absolute one of my favorites. But guys like Askarov and Figueiredo, they found out ways to beat him. And I think Moreno is at that level too of understanding, like, look, all I have to do is continue just building what I'm doing in my location in my gym. Which he's down here in Fort Worth, isn't he? He's down here in
he's at Fortis.
He's at Fortis MMA.
Yeah.
They've got a good group of people there now there's a lot more of them now that have moved and made transitions over there. They've got a stacked full of top level wrestlers that are out of there now. The kid from Oklahoma State, Nicky, I can't pronounce his last name. Pickney. He wrestled with Kyle Crutchmer
Crutchmer's there too.
Yep. No crutches there as well. But Nick was one of the only guys to ever stick. Jeez, man, what was his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. 3-time national champ out of Iowa, wrestled at Jesus, what's his name? Dave, pull it up because it's gonna kill me, man. God, he just lost. Who
was he?
No, we're talking about wrestling.
I know. Hold it. He just lost.
He lost in the finals. Yeah, he lost in the finals of the NC2As. He wrestled at 125 pounds at University of Iowa. National champ. Okay. Yeah, but he lost. Spencer
Lee.
Yeah, Spencer Lee.
There you go, Spencer Lee.
God, Josh, get it together, man.
I couldn't come up with it either.
Yeah, it's like right on the tip of my tongue. Like, come on, man. Yeah, but Spencer, but I mean, like, so Nicky's one of the only guys that ever beat Spencer Lee. Stuck him, I think, last year in their duel there, and I think at Oklahoma State. Last year or the year before, and he's now down at Fortis helping these guys get ready. So he's helping Brandon Moreno as well. So Brandon Moreno's wrestling should be on point in anything he needs to do, whether it's takedowns, defend takedowns, whatever it is. If he is looking to get those takedowns, looking for him to be that top position, doing that work, that ground and pound, that grimy style of wrestling, I'm looking at it. You're going to see, I think, a lot better transitional striking to wrestling from Brandon Moreno in this fight. And I think the wrestling is going to be a factor in this fight, John.
I agree with you. And I agree with you. I think Brandon at this point, this is what makes the fight so interesting to me, is I think Brandon at this point is percentage points better than he was when he fought Pantoja before, especially in the first one. He's percentage points better based upon being the champ. He's got that, he knows, he's been there. And then you can look at Pantoja, and Pantoja's the guy sitting there going, I've already beat you twice. If I beat you twice, I can definitely beat you a third time. And so it's what makes this a great fight. This is a fight that needed to be in the flyweights based upon the fact that Pantoja had 2 wins against him. And with that, that's the whole, he's never gotten that chance now. He's been waiting. He's been fighting at the upper level. And I don't blame the UFC for all the Figueiredo fights and that, the rematches and stuff that went on with Moreno based upon the title going back and forth. But it is Pantoja's time as far as to get that shot. And this is what makes it an intriguing fight. I think Moreno right now is better than he's ever been. And I think Pantoja has that belief that this guy can't beat me.
But there is also a little bit of a risk, though. I've already beat you twice. Could you just be thinking, I've got your number. Okay, I know I'm going to do what I did last time. And Moreno's got a lot better since then.
Not when you have never won the title and that title's on the line.
I could see it being that way. But sometimes people take it for granted there, John. Sometimes people they overlook somebody because, I beat you twice, and I don't care if the title's on the line. You're the same fighter. I haven't really seen you do a whole lot, that's different than when we fought. We'll see.
If he has not seen Moreno being a different fighter in a multitude of ways,
I agree.
He ain't watching tape.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go next.
Robert Whittaker. Bobby Knuckles taking on Dricus Du Plessis. I love this fight. I tell you what, people can say what they want. I love what Du Plessis has been, the way he's been trying to come after Adesanya, wanting that fight. Adesanya's been going after him, saying the things he would do to him. And look at this is the standard bearer. This is the one that's going to tell you exactly where Du Plessis is at. Because if he gets a win against Bobby Knuckles, he's proving I am the upper crest of this division. And he deserves that shot against Adesanya. But he's got to get past Bobby Knuckles first. That ain't easy. Bobby Whittaker is just a fucking beast. He is good everywhere. He's got good wrestling. You can look at the stand-up, and Du Plessis had the kickboxing background and things like that. I think that Robert Whittaker can stand with him, no problem at all, and will do well with him. I do think that the wrestling, I think Whittaker's better. I think Whittaker's got better wrestling, a better top game, but Du Plessis has proven that he is freaking dog tough. He's got a hell of a gas tank. I've seen him get tired, and I've seen him recover which says, you know what, he's in shape when he comes in there. This is a tell-all fight that Duplessis is stepping up big time.
Look, I like the storyline. I like the idea of him, beating
going
Robert and getting on.
You're not going with it, though.
And getting onto the Izzy fight, and then mixing the whole, South African, real African versus.
Come on.
I get the whole storyline. If I'm the UFC, I'm going.
The story's been written.
Yeah, if I'm the UFC, all I see is dollar signs. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Come on. When we talk about the UFC, don't care who wins, but in the back of their mind right now, they're like, we kind of want Duplessis to win this fight.
It wouldn't be bad if
there's
Bobby
someone new
ended up falling down. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like that's what they're looking at. But look, at the end of the day, Robert Whittaker to me is just somebody that he's good all the way around. He's somebody that can stand with Duplessis. He can keep it on the feet. I think he will utilize some wrestling and some timing on catching the kicks. Whatever it is, he's going to try to get those easy takedowns. He's not going to force the takedowns. And I think once he gets to the top position, Duplessis is going to be he's going to be in not a world of hurt, but he's not going to have a whole lot of answers. Bobby on top is not. He's pretty damn good. He's good everywhere. And so when I look at the experience that Robert Whittaker brings to the cage and the top level guys that he's fought, Duplessis doesn't bring any of the things, not in the full package that some of the guys that Whittaker's fought before. And I'm not trying to knock Duplessis. Like I said, I love the storyline. Just if they wanted to get him to the title, they should have matched him up against someone else. This is not the guy. This is not the guy that he's gonna be able to get through to beat him. And nothing against the guys below Robert Whittaker, but they would have been a little bit more stylistically a better matchup for him to get to the title shot. Whittaker's just been sitting around waiting for someone to fight, and this is the guy that came up, and so this is what they're doing. But I'm gonna go towards Robert Whittaker. Hey, pull up these betting odds because I want to know. I feel like Whittaker should be probably like a plus. I was thinking 500, but so they got not plus. Sorry, a minus 500. They got Whittaker at minus 400, and they got Duplessis.
You have Robert Whittaker as a plus? I don't think so.
No, he's a minus. So he's at a minus 400, and you got Duplessis at plus 300. That's about where I thought. I was thinking maybe a plus minus 500 for Whittaker. That's what I was thinking. But you taking those odds? You think Duplessis has a chance at all outside of a puncher's chance? You think he's got a chance?
No. Here, as simple as it gets, and I'm putting you on the spot here, Dave. I don't know if you can do it. Pull up the records and who the both guys have fought in the UFC. And this is the tell-all. Is when you take a look at Robert Whittaker right now, just real quick, and we'll look. What happened?
I'll put them side by side for you. Just give me a second.
Okay, there you go.
Look at this.
Damn it,
Dave's out
Dave,
here
you're
hustling.
a skilled man. I am so impressed
Dave
by you.
is out here
but it still
hustling,
hasn't happened.
man.
Let's see if it happens.
Let's
see if it happens.
Things like this take time. See, John thinks because he doesn't know no idea what technology. John just thinks you click a button and like the shit just happens.
Just do it.
Okay. You actually have to shape it.
Go, that's fine. You can go off of those last, we'll say 10 fights. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go.
7, 8. That's 9 fights. Okay.
Robert on the left.
So yeah, exactly. So I want you to take a look for Robert Whittaker. We've got Derek Brunson, Jacare, Yoel Romero, Adesanya, Darren Till, Cannonier, Gastelum, Adesanya again, Vettori. The who's who of the middleweight division.
Yeah.
Am I not right? Except for Darren Till. I can't put Darren Till there. Okay. But other than that, who's who?
Yeah.
Okay. They both have wins against Darren Till. All right. We saw what happened with Darren Till in the fight against Duplessis. But let's take a look at we're going to have to go into KSW where Duplessis was fighting. And he did fight Roberto Soldic. Good fighter. Tough
fighter.
dude.
Really
He's got
good
a loss against him. He's got a win and then a loss. You got Luderbach. He knocked him out, figured that would happen. I don't know Brendan Lessar. So I don't know who he is. Marcus Perez got the win. Trevin Giles, Brad Tavares, Darren Till, Derek Brunson. Another one they have as far as, but obviously at different points in their career. Derek Brunson in 2016 was a completely different fighter now than Derek Brunson of 2023.
Yeah.
But you take a look at, you don't see the Marcus Perez or the Trevin Giles or the Brendan Lasser. That's not on Bobby Knuckles because he was fighting the killers of the division. Mm-hmm. Nothing against Duplessis. He can't help all that. But the level of who they have faced and the way they faced him, it's just different. There's just a difference in levels right here. And this will be the fight that I think that Duplessis will see that where those levels are.
John, when I look at what Duplessis brings to the table, he's got power, he's got heart, he looks fatigued and tired. He looks fatigued and tired, and he digs deep and he pulls it out of his ass.
Yep.
Okay, and we saw that a little bit in the Darren Till fight. He looked a little tired, looked a little fatigued. Sure, he ends up getting the win. Same thing with Derek Brunson. He looked a little tired, looked fatigued, and he still came out and got the win.
Yep.
But at no moment in this fight will Bobby Knuckles look tired. And in no moments of this fight will he be out of position to the point where Duplessis will be able to expose him and get these, whether they're sloppy takedowns or whether they're big shots that are landed. Bobby Knuckles will be in tight defensive and offensive position the whole time in all 3 rounds. This guy's used to training for 5-round fights. He understands, look, I can do 5 rounds all day long. I've done it with the best guys in the world. 3 rounds to me, walk in the park, Kazansky. That's all. That's he's gonna be thinking to himself. This is not a big deal to me. I will push you in the limits in the first round. Try to put you, clinch you, hang on you, blow your arms up, make you feel fatigued, make you feel like you can't clinch anymore. And in that second round, I'm gonna start piecing you up. Just touch, and you're gonna leave yourself out of position. Defensively. After you throw a big shot and you miss, I'm gonna make you pay. And that's where I see the difference is Duplessis has got really good. He's got heavy hands. He's got good striking. But as he gets tired, he starts leaving himself out of position. He's stiff, but he leaves himself out of position. He leaves himself to be countered. He leaves himself to get hit with clean shots. And Robert Whittaker, Bobby he's the master of doing things like that. So nothing against Duplessis. I just don't see him getting past Bobby Knuckles, man. Knuckles is the man. So
it takes a really good technician to get past him as far as on the feet. And not that Duplessis is not a good technician. Yeah. He just doesn't have that different style.
No.
Of stand-up, like a Wonder Boy or somebody like that. So, I don't know. It's still a great fight. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch what happens out of the whole thing. So, Jalen Turner.
Speaking of stand-up.
All right.
Speaking of stand-up. These two guys, speaking of stand-up.
Speaking of stand-up and speaking of freaking freaks of nature when it comes to the size of these lightweights, Dan Hooker is the shorter man at 6'1". I know he lists himself at 6 foot. He ain't. 6'1", and he's going to be looking up at Jalen Turner at 6'3". Dude, these guys are huge for the lightweight division. They both like to stand and bang. Someone's getting knocked out. I just look at it that way. This is a great matchup. I love the stylistic matchup of this fight, and I love both guys. Hooker's a dog, but he has taken a lot of damage in some of his fights. We're going to see if that damage has accumulated and if it's starting to slow him down.
The lightweight division has really changed a lot since I was in the lightweight division. When I came into the lightweight division, I want people to go back
when
and
you were huge.
Yeah, look at I want you guys to go back to UFC 49 and listen to Joe Rogan, and he will tell you how enormous Josh Thompson is. Josh Thompson is so big, such a monster for the light. Yves Edwards is so big for a lightweight. Oh my God, these guys are enormous. We're like little kids against these guys now. I feel like we should have been if I was to come back to fighting, even if I was younger, I'd have to come back at bantamweight. There's just no way. Think about Corey Sandhagen. What is he? 5'11", 135?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. These guys are enormous. Jalen Turner, 6'3", 155. Dan Hooker, 6'1", 155. Dan Hooker made 145, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
145. Nice. Now, I'm not saying he looked great at 145, but I'm saying, though, he made the weight.
Too drawn out.
I mean, like myself, I made 143 when I fought Kid Yamamoto, and I killed myself. It took me forever to get the muscle back on. But still, I was like, man, I could never do this every single fight, ever. But these guys are on a different level of their mentality. They really, really want it. They really want to get the weight down. I mean, these guys are like Islam, huge. Habib, huge. These guys are just big guys walking around and just able to just scientifically kind of get their weights down. You know, sometimes they struggle, sometimes they don't. It depends on how your body's feeling that day. Now back to the fight. Jalen Turner, phenomenal, slick. Tall, long, and lengthy, perfect body style for the sport. Dan Hooker, tall, long, and lengthy.
Coming off of a loss.
Coming off a loss, perfect body style for the sport. Look, I just want to know where Dan's mentality is. I know, isn't Jalen coming off a loss though too?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so Jalen's coming off a loss. Dan's coming off a loss.
I believe both.
Yeah. Jalen Turner going to use all of his abilities, like his abilities, which is his inside leg kick, calf kick, that body kick, and his hands are slick. He's got good takedown defense when he is fresh. But I don't see Dan Hooker trying to take this fight to the ground at all. And the same thing goes for Jalen Turner.
Which
two of
makes
these guys are going to
Jalen Turner
stand
happy.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll finally get to let all of his weapons go. He's not so concerned about being taken down. The same thing with Dan Hooker. I don't think he's going to really have to be concerned with Jalen Turner getting a takedown or two. Now, both of them, I think, will threaten one. They'll sneak one in, whether it's like a little trip or whether it's like a threat to the single leg. If they're pressed against the fence, clinching, someone might drop down on a double and try and lift real quick and get it down, but they're not going to spend a lot of energy trying to do this. So I'm looking forward to this fight. You have two behemoth lightweights basically coming in and letting their stand-up fly. This is going to be a fun fight. This is going to be a fantastic fight.
No, that's a great fight. Bo Nickel, Bo's 4-0, the man from Penn State. They had a fight for him with Treson Gore. Treson Gore had to pull out, so they bring in Valentin Woodburn, who is undefeated. Valentin has fought at light heavyweight, middleweight. He is powerful. He is he's built like a brick shithouse as far as you look at him. He has got mostly knockouts throughout his 7-0 career. Can he stop the wrestling of Bo Nickel?
Absolutely not. Now, let's.
Okay.
What really?
You could have said that with one word. No.
I want to go to the betting odds. Let's go to the betting odds there, Dave.
Oh, it's going to be
Where
horrible.
are we at? What do you think the odds are?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh, goodness.
Minus 2,400.
I might do that one just because.
No.
Come on.
You're not going to bet 100. You're not going to bet. You're not going to bet $100.
I put $50 on Val Woodburn to win 600.
So you're saying Val is going to win? That's what you're saying.
No, I am not saying that.
No, you use that same mentality against me and Volk.
That I am willing to throw away $50.
I mean, look, anything can happen. This is the
I
fight
can do
game.
that because of the $500 I put on Volkanovski is going to give me my money back.
Wow. Look. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. When you have someone who's a plus 1,200, I'm going to put 50 down. I'm going to slap it down and just see what happens. I mean, I might even dabble a little bit, maybe even go to 100. I might. I mean, because look, if you put 50 down, you're winning what, 600? You know, you put 100 down, you're winning 1,200. I'm like, it's worth it.
What was there was a recent fight the UFC had. I think it was Elvis Brenner against can't say his name. Kujaladzke.
Yeah, the kid from Georgia.
Yeah, Brenner was a huge underdog in that.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. He was I think he was a plus 900 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like plus 900. Yeah. Look.
See? Sometimes it works.
Yeah, sometimes it does. Look, when guys come in on short notice, the fighter who's fighting him, it's hard for them as well because you weren't really preparing for them. It's not just that, but it's a mind fuck. It really is because you obviously know the guy who's coming in on short notice has nothing to lose. The deal was probably already signed. That Val Woodburn's going to already have probably a 3-fight deal unless he just totally sucks. They probably signed him to a 3-fight deal, give him an opportunity to really shine on a second fight when you come in late notice like this. So they signed him to a 3-fight deal, probably for nothing. Maybe let's say 10-10 or 12-12, something like that. And they're going to allow him to fight and see what happens. If he comes out and gets this win, I mean, he's going to be catapulted right into the big time. But I mean, I'm willing. John, I'm willing to bet the $50. Might as well. You have nothing. I mean, you have something to lose. $50. You got $50 to lose, but it's one of those things I'd be willing to take a chance on. Yeah, it's one of those things I'd be willing to take a chance on.
It's one of those that I've done in the past. You know, it's like, just you got to. You know, and then as that person that I put the money on is lying on the canvas and the referee is waving their arms over him, I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have done that.
You're like, damn. I mean, you know what's funny is I got friends. What they do is they bet on fights throughout the night, but they'll bet like $10. And they just try to stay ahead. And sometimes, by the end of the night, they've won, $180. And you're like, all right, I get it. Not me, man. I'm like, lose it all. Go deep. Go big. You got this.
Go big or go home, baby.
Don't be a sissy. All right, next fight.
Well, we got Robbie Lawler coming in and taking on Nico Price. Look, Nico Price is tough as hell. He is a guy who is, if you looked at Robbie, earlier in his career, Nico Price was tailor-made for Robbie Lawler. Walking forward guy, likes to take big punches, can only take so many of them before the big fucking hammer lands and he goes out. But Robbie's a different fighter now, and you look at this. This is a big time fight for Nico Price if you look at it. Robbie Lawler is a name and will always be a name. He's a legend in the sport, and if you look at his career and how many comebacks he's had in his career and the way he did it, and Robbie's never talked shit about anybody.
Nope.
He just goes out, he just performs. He's fantastic. Now as a mentor for other young fighters, he's been fantastic because he's experienced the ups and the downs and the pitfalls, and he tries to keep those guys away from those things and keeps them on course. And he's a guy that at any point you could say this is his last fight. I thought maybe
this is his last fight.
Brian Barber.
This is his last fight. This is
we're gonna find out. I know we're gonna find out.
No, it's already committed.
No,
already committed.
Not buying it until I see the gloves go down. Yeah,
it's done. It's done, buddy.
I know you talked to the management. I know. But
I've talked to the management. I talked to Robbie.
But like I said, I'm not saying it's done until I see it.
Oh, John.
If there's one thing, if there's one, okay, let's be honest. Robbie loves it. He just loves to fight. It is part of, he's not that guy that gets, super excited. He doesn't get super down. He stays in that middle area. But when it comes to fight night and you're around Robbie, this dude loves this shit.
Yeah.
And he does, but so if this is his last fight, it's a good fight for him. It's a good fight for Nico to try to get a big name on, his record, one that he beat. He had the fight with Cowboy. That's a big one. But this, if you can get a win against Robbie Lawler, that's saying a lot because Robbie was a champion. Robbie's done it all, been there throughout, You got to figure Robbie Lawler started his UFC career at UFC, 36?
Yeah.
37?
Against Aaron Riley.
Aaron Riley.
Yeah.
That was his first fight.
I was there live at that event. I watched this young man scroll all the way down. Keep going. Yeah, look for Landon Showalter. Scroll down from there, right there at the very.
So if you look at Aaron Riley,
2001.
Back in 2002 at UFC 37.
I'm gonna tell you guys a little history with him. You're talking about Aaron Riley at UFC 37 at High Impact. That show there, Larry Landless was the referee. Great fight. Aaron Riley was known for just taking shots and coming forward and being a dog. Like he could deliver it and he could take it. But the first time I saw him fight was against Landon Showalter. He was 19 years old. He had a fro and it was real curly. Yep. And he was fighting out there in Hawaiian shorts. And we're in the middle of some desert at some casino. I can't remember what casino it was. But we were in the middle of some desert. I think it was Calusa Casino or somewhere out there. And he's in there. I see this kid. He was barely warming up. He was just touching the pads like light. Like didn't look like he wanted to go hard. And then I was like, this kid, everyone's, we were here. We saw he was out there. Pat Milicic was out there with him. I'm like, I wonder who this kid is. He goes out there. I think it was 14 seconds. I was thinking it was 19 seconds. It was quick. It was quick.
It was boom, boom,
and
done.
Yeah, it was boom, boom, and it was done. And he acted like it was no big deal. There's no big deal. Like, I do this shit all the time. He only had one fight before that. He was phenomenal. Yeah, just phenomenal. And so I'm there in the back watching him. You know, the same kid and another kid that fought on that card was Kelly Delonte. So we were there for him. I was there helping Kelly get ready for his fight. Then 2 fights later, we both were on the same card for Shogun. Shogun won in Hawaii. And he fought Saburo, however you say that guy's name, Kawakatsu.
Kawakatsu.
Yeah. And that was the same night that both of us got signed to the UFC because we both fought that night. So I fought Kid Yamamoto that night, and I had to make 143 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was like walking around 170, and it was miserable. Hated it. It was horrible. Got called on last minute notice, but he came out, and I saw him there. I was like, as soon as I saw him there, I'd never heard of the kid, and I hadn't seen him again since I saw him fight Landon Showalter. I saw him there at the fights, and I'm like, this kid is for sure going to get signed. I just don't see how he doesn't. He's just so explosive. Look at that. What was that? In the first round, 449 in the first round, just bop, bop. He just got power. He was so aggressive. He was timid, but then aggressive. Waited for you to make a mistake, leave yourself open. You'd reach in on his southpaw stance. You'd reach in trying to reach him, and he would just slide his head back a little bit and come back with a big loopy right hook and straight left, and he would just start you, put you to sleep. Landon Showalter was like this, what you call posturing. His feet went stiff. His arms went stiff. Everything about, toes were curled. I felt bad for the kid. But man, then to see that we both got signed to the UFC off that card there in Shogun in Hawaii. Then I kept getting injured, but I went to go watch his fight with Aaron Riley. I went to go watch his fight not with Steve Berger, but with Tiki Goshen. I was there at these events. He just exploded onto the scene with big power, and the way he fought, people loved it. They loved him. They loved his energy. And when media got around him, they were trying to draw shit out of him. And to this day, he doesn't give them shit. And look, nope. And it's not about the battle with the media. What it is that I'm here to talk about fighting. I'm not here to talk about my family. I'm not here to talk about my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, past stuff. I'm not here to talk about my high school experiences. I'm here to talk about fighting. And what I've always loved about him is he stayed true to who he was as a person. He's never gotten away from that. And, I had a good chance. I had a good opportunity to hang, we've hung out quite a few times, but last August when we were in Sioux Falls, we were all hanging out together, and it was an opportunity. The two of us, we just kind of sat down and we chatted about the history of, where we both kind of came up. And, I just had to let him know, man, I mean, like, really admire him as a person, admire him as a fighter, admire that he went through some tough times in the sport when he got released, when he was released from the UFC, went over, fought in Pride, had great performances over there. Then he went to Strikeforce, had great performances there. Then he came back to the UFC.
Went to Elite XC
first. Sorry, Elite XC, and then
Strikeforce got him from there.
And they got him from there. And then he came back to the UFC when the buyout happened and became champion. Think about that. I want people to think about that. He wasn't. They didn't have any use for him in the UFC. Then he went to all these other organizations, reinvented himself, came back and became the UFC champion.
Yep.
Just phenomenal, man. You can't say enough about him.
Hold it. When you say it, Josh, because I was just saying that there's that one moment that I had with Robbie. If you looked at this thing, how many times I refereed Robbie so many damn times, but I had that moment with him during that Rory McDonald fight between the 4th and 5th round where, he was a fucking mess. And he's going back and I just looked at him. I said, Robbie, look at me, man. Yeah, how you feeling, right? I feel fucking great, John. It's like, how the fuck do you feel great, right? That's what I want to hear, baby, right? And I go off to just check on Roy because I knew Roy was my real problem, right? But you take a look at his career from the point that he got back in the UFC. And I'm trying to think of some, the first fights he had the goddamn head kick. I'm trying to remember who it was against. God damn it. It was.
Here it is. Head kick and punches to Bobby Volker.
Bobby Volker, that's it. Yeah, he knocked out Bobby Volker just brutally. And then it started because he got the win against Roy McDonald, which is their first one, which was a split decision. Mm-hmm. Lost to Johnny Hendricks, which was super close. takes out Jake Ellenberger. Matt Brown, that was a fucking phenomenal fight. And then he wins against Johnny Hendricks, and then he has the fucking battle with Rory McDonald again. And I mean, his career when he came back was just astonishing as far as look at the level of guys that he was fighting, all fucking savages, and just putting on great performances, you know. I guess he did beat Josh Koscheck before the Bobby Volker.
Yes, he did. Scroll down.
Yeah, 157.
So when you get to he had a loss against Lorenz Larkin, but then and he lost to Tim Kennedy. He lost to Jacques. Yeah, these are at 185. He lost to Tim Kennedy. Lost to Jacques Ray. Beat Matt Lindland. Lost to Babalu. But the fight with him and Melvin Manoff, I will never forget that fight.
He was getting killed.
His leg was crushed in that round.
Destroyed.
I was like, there's no way this guy's gonna be able to get out of this fucking round. There's no way.
No.
And just like that, one punch schlepped him. Just like Melvin Manoff is known for his power and his stand-up, his aggressiveness with his kicks. Man, he got clipped right on the chin and he was out. There was no follow-up. It was just like, boom, done. And Bobby was a walk-off.
One shot.
And
it probably, let's hold on. Let's just be honest. That fight was one round. What was the time on it? 3:33.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will tell you that Robbie Lawler did not land more than 3 punches in that fucking fight. That fucking one that he landed the very first. He went after him. You know, he landed one that he didn't have to afterwards. But, dude, that fucking shot, he didn't land shit in that fight. Fucking Manhoef was killing his leg with kicks. And it was like, oh, Robbie's in trouble. And he just turned it around like that. Crazy.
Well, I was at that fight at the Pride fight, Pride 32. That was a fantastic flying knee knockout of Joey Villasenor. Just fucking nasty.
But take a look at some of the names, man. Look at Frank Trigg. He fought Frank Trigg, right? Remember fellow Nico Vitale?
Yep.
What a fucking athlete from Hawaii. Just an incredible guy.
Marilla
Jason
Hua.
Miller, Scott Smith. Yeah.
Marilla Hua, KO.
Yeah.
Just
Jake,
good. Like
Jake Shields. Just a who's who in fighting. Crazy. You know,
Jeez.
Ninja Hua, man. He was a stud.
No.
You know?
Yeah, he fought everyone, man. He fought everybody.
Yep.
But all of those, look, you can look at 29 and 16. People want to talk about for me, I look at the fighters and who they fought throughout their careers. I don't look at the losses as much because who were you trying to fight? Look, I could have a padded record my whole career. Guys like BJ Penn don't come very often. He was leaving the UFC because they wouldn't give him the tougher fights that he wanted. That's why he was upset. I want more money and I want the best fighters you can give me. If you're not going to give me the best fighters, then I'm fucking out of here. Like,
I'll go find my own.
I'll go find my own. I'll go pay for my own. Is what he did.
That's what he did.
You know, and then that's what eventually got him brought back. Don't bring me back unless you're going to have me fight guys that motivate me. Don't bring me to the table and have me fight these guys below that I'm not interested in fighting. Of course I'm not going to get motivated for them. And so I look at what Robbie's done throughout his career. Sure, he's had some losses, but he's lost to the best guys in the division at that time. And sometimes, a lot of time, he should have been fighting at 205. He should have been fighting at 185. Or sorry, not at 180. Not at 185. He should have been fighting at 170. He was like, yeah, but I got the power. I got the balls. I love this shit. I can knock these guys out. You know, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I admire him because he never wanted the easy fights. He never asked for the easy fights. He wanted to fight the best guys, and he always went out there and fucking laid it out there, man. He always threw the big shots, try to get these fighters out of there. Got to admire guys like that, man. Big fan of Robbie Lawler, one of my all-time favorites. And the story with me watching him when he was 19 years old, knock out Landon Showalter and getting him stiff was just nasty.
Well, the other part is, you know, they don't have an amateur record, but I can tell you some of the fights that he had in his amateur days in Iowa with Monty Cox and the fights that Monty Cox would put on. You know, you remember Drew McFedries?
Yes, I do.
Drew McFedries and Robbie fought. And, you know, and both being managed at the time by Monty saying, don't hurt each other. Yeah, they're going out just slinging leather. It's like, what are you guys doing, right? But he fought everybody. He is just a fighting machine who loves it. And that's why I hope this is his last fight. He's a Hall of Famer. He will be put in the UFC's Hall of Fame. He deserves that. And if this is his last fight, I'm a little bit sad that it's not on the main card, but it is the preliminary main event. So good luck to you, Robbie. Nothing against Nico. I love Nico. He's a tough dude, good family man. But if this is Robbie's last fight, good luck. Good luck, brother.
Next fight.
Any other fights on here you want to talk about?
Well, the Jack Della, Madalena, and Josiah Harrell. Josiah Harrell's tough. Is good. He's a tough fighter. Out of LFA, right? LFA?
Lot of power.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me a little bit about him
Jack
is
Della Madalena's.
But the two of them are going to clash, I think, in the center of the cage. They're going to get after it, and it's going to be a fun fight.
Someone's getting knocked out.
Someone's going to be a fun fight. Are you looking at the rest of this card? Outside of the Cameron Siamon, or however you say it, from South Africa. Good kickboxer. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing him fight. Looking forward to seeing him fight. Vitor Petrino, tough fighter. Fun to watch. So make sure you guys keep an eye out on him on the prelims. And then I haven't seen, let me see what else. And then I like the Crute and Minifield fight. That should be a fun fight for everyone.
Isn't that a rematch?
Should be a good fight. I think it is, though, John. I think it might be. Click on that. I think it is.
That's the one that...
it is.
Yeah, it was a draw.
Yeah. Good for them. All right. Well, hey, that's going to wrap up our UFC talk. We jabbered on quite a bit about the main card, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And let's get into a couple little things about the news, and we'll talk about that.
All right. Well, let's get into this first one here. Actually, John, I'll let you do. I skipped over this one earlier.
So okay. Let's talk about this one right here, ladies and gentlemen. We want to talk about a kid that Josh and I knew very well, and he's going through some hard times. Cris Lencioni was a fighter in Bellator. He was known as Sunshine, and he's known as Sunshine because, man, the dude brightened up the room. He was always positive. He was always a guy that was, having fun with what he was doing. He had some great fights in Bellator. Bellator had brought him back because he was gone for a moment, and he was on a winning streak, and something happened in training. He had a heart attack, they're saying, and he went without oxygen for a while, and now he is fighting to get himself back, not to get himself back as a fighter, to get himself back as a functioning man and someone that can take care of himself. They didn't know if he was going to come out of the coma that he was in. He did. He fought his way out of that. Now he's actually walking, and there is a GoFundMe for Cris Lencioni. You don't have to put your name down on it, but if it's $5, man, give $5. He's got incredible medical bills. He's being helped out by a lot of different entities and stuff, but man, this is a kid that deserves it. He was great with other kids. He had a whole program with youth and stuff. He was big into that. All I can say is good things about Cris Lencioni, and the one thing I want to say is, hey, Chris, God bless you, but you're a fighter to the heart. I know you're going to make it out of this. I know you're going to come back and be the guy that we all know. I don't give a shit if you fight again. That doesn't matter. But I do want you to be able to be the husband to your wife that you were before and have the family that you always talked about. So good luck with everything, brother.
Yeah, John, you saw the way him and we seem to mesh very well in Hawaii. I like to give some fighters, a little jab here and there. I like to poke fun at fighters, but he is someone that likes to give it right back. And so he's a funny young man, but he's also very dedicated to sharing his wisdom with wrestling and jiu-jitsu with the youth in his community. And that's the most important part. To me, He's a great person, great husband, very, very nice, very, very outspoken in terms of in friendly ways, though. Not just not being a douche. He's a great person. Really good, really close friends with Chael Sonnen, and Chael. I met him actually through Chael, and he's just a great person. And I love what he does in his community. And you can't knock those are the things that are the most important to me in terms of when you're a male adult and you need to go out there and be an example for our youth, and that's what he was doing. And if you guys can help at all, there is a GoFundMe. We'll try to get it sent over to Dave so he can put it in the descriptions down below, so you guys can click that. Look, $5, $10, $100, whatever you guys can give would be great for him and his family. I appreciate you guys. All right, what else you got for us, Dave?
All right, let's hop into fantasy land now and talk about
Fantasy
what
land.
could be her return. The speculation is running wild on Ronda Rousey returning to the UFC. It has been noted that she has a hard stop with the WWE. There's the speculation, the date is not confirmed, but the speculation is SummerSlam, which is end of August. So John Anik made a comment that she's a prospect for return to bantamweight. Now that bantamweight's free. Do you guys think it happens? Could it happen? Will it happen?
John,
if it does happen, she's obviously going to get right in a title shot. So does she win a title? What do you guys think?
You think she gets right into a title shot? Really?
Oh, of
What are
course.
you,
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
crazy?
You're crazy, man. The other thing too is that Dave
Do you-
automatically knew
do you-
when SummerSlam was at the end of August.
Dave, let me
SummerSlam
ask
is the
you
end of
this.
August.
I'm just going to ask you this, Dave. I know in the WWE, she get an automatic title match. Do you think it would be a good idea for her to come off of, what was it? Let's see, 2017 was her last fight. So 5 years away from actual fighting, you think it'd be a good idea for her to get a title match?
Yeah, it was a knockout loss too, by the way.
George St. Pierre did it as well. So
She ain't George St. Pierre, motherfucker.
no, she's better. She is. She's levels above.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
this
Jesus.
guy.
There it goes, then.
She's
There
got
it goes.
she's got the boxing to beat Floyd Mayweather also, right, buddy?
Look, I love Ronda.
guy.
I've known Ronda for a long time. I think she's a lot of people don't, understand Ronda and her mindset and who she is. And look, if she wants to come back, I'd be surprised that she wants to come back. Like she's got a whole life and she's made a ton of money and she can do whatever she wants. She has a husband sitting there. She now has a baby sitting there. And she's got her Rousey acres that she is very functional in and loves to be part of and wants to be there. And when you're talking about fighting, now it's about time away from all of that. And could she make money trying to go back to the UFC? Yeah, Dana would pay her a shitload. But it probably wouldn't be the smart thing for her to do. She's got a great life, great career in the UFC, great career in the WWE. Walk away and be a farmer.
I guess, John, after this amount of time, would she be able to make the weight? She's not a small girl. Like, she's physically built. Like, she's got muscle on her. She's always been muscular. Do you think? I mean, she cut a lot of weight to make the weight back then when she was training all the time.
Yes, she did. Oh, yes, she did.
And you have to get your, 5 years away. You got to get your body back in, acclimated to being thrown, being taken down, getting to the top position, like that griminess again. She's gonna have to get back into that.
She's used to the bumps.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, John.
Used to the bumps just from what she has to. So it's not like when we talk about, we used to call it soft skin. You'd be away from it. Mm-hmm. And you get marked up when you come back. All of a sudden, man, you're all marked up everywhere, and no one actually hits you.
Yeah,
because you got soft skin.
Yeah,
you've been
it's
away.
True, but I can be away. You can be away for say like a month and come back, and you get the soft skin around your forehead and all that stuff. It hurts. It's painful.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you take your headgear off. You're like, damn, why is my fucking forehead hurts? What's going on? Look, dude, does she come back? I don't think she does. Do I hope she comes back? I don't really, only because I'd like to see her just live on with her life. She's got a beautiful family. Like you said, she's got the, what is it called? The Rousey acres.
Rousey.
Okay. And it's
Brown and Rousey combined.
Got it.
It's pretty cool. I like that.
I just call it Rousey. Let's be honest.
Rousey. Don't you leave Travis out there. Travis is the one doing the hard work on the farm.
I don't know. I've seen videos of her lifting some hay, man. She's been bucking the hay. So no, she's a phenomenal. She's phenomenal for the sport. I'm concerned a little bit though. Why is she leaving the WWE when now that they're kind of owned by the same company?
They are.
Why would she have a hard stop? Like, I don't get that. You would think maybe like, hey, you're good for wrestling. We own you now, so why don't we just bump you a little bit more in pay? And maybe we have you do both. Maybe we have you do a cross. Do a little bit of the.
I think she's just done because I think she's kind of been there and accomplished.
She's also been there and done that in the MMA, buddy. Just letting you
she's being a team player, letting them know, hey, this is my heart out. This is my date that I'm done. So whatever you guys want to set up, who you want me to match up with, who I'm supposed to lose to, start thinking about it now.
Got it. Dave, what's the date on that SummerSlam, buddy? What's the date? End of August? What? Come on, Dave.
End of
Give
August.
me the date.
I don't know the exact date. I don't know
You
the exact
fucking
date.
liar. All right, next. What else you got for us?
2016.
All right,
I said
we're gonna
2017. See? It's even another year.
Continue in Fantasyland here.
Like the WWE
Paul.
Fantasyland. Let's continue in the Fantasyland. Let's go.
That's it.
Logan Paul wants to fight Paddy Pimblett, the off-season Paddy Pimblett, and the undercard for Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk.
Jeez. These guys.
Is that a fight? Is that a fight that would you'd pay to see?
There's something about the Paul brothers, Josh. They don't have a calculator.
They don't want to fight guys in their weight class. I don't even know if they understand the terminology of what weight is. Like
weight classes, that means nothing.
Scale?
Look at Logan and Jake would have been great back at UFC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, no weight, no problem. Oh, hold on. I'm supposed to be the smaller guy? Look,
man.
He wants to fight Paddy Pimblett, so he wants Fatty Paddy to be.
He wants Fatty Paddy.
I want Paddy eating all the crumpets that he can get his hands on, so he can get close to the 225 pounds that I am.
Jeez.
Right? What the? Come on, man! You're talking about a guy that fights at 155. What's that?
Technically, Logan would be the one going up if he's fighting off-season Paddy.
No, even off-season Paddy ain't getting his. Look at Logan
off-season
Paul.
Paddy's 200.
Yeah, 200, 205. Logan Paul hasn't seen 205 since high school. Okay, not since he's been taking those vitamins, that prime juice, stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Hey, you know what though, John? I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. The prime drink is pretty damn good.
I've never had one.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Really?
You know what's crazy?
It's pretty good.
In the UK, people go nuts over it. My nephew's here right now from Scotland, and he's buying Prime to take home and all that. I'm like, dude, this is a freaking.
Right, because it's way cheaper here than it is there. It's pretty good though. They have a popsicle one. It's like red, white, and blue colored bottle. That's pretty good. And they have a new lemonade that just came out. That's pretty damn good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. I was a little hesitant I'm gonna buy that shit, and then I bought one. I was like, this is pretty good. It's thirst quenching. It's good, man.
I have nothing
like
against his product. And his
he just got to learn.
UFC
He's got to learn how the scale works. He's got to learn how the scale works.
Boy,
if you're within this range, we can fight. If I'm within this range, we can fight. If one of us is outside that range, we cannot fight. This is the best way I can describe it to you.
Whoa.
I can explain it to you, buddy.
He has to have Paddy Pimblett. He has to have Paddy Pimblett eating fucking buttercup biscuits for the next 6 months to make his weight.
John, you know what's crazy to me is he literally went out publicly and said, I want to fight off-season Paddy. What the fuck? Who does that? Who says I want to fight out of season? I want to fight off-season. That boy looks like a blimp.
Smart guy. That's a smart guy. I want him soft and round.
But who says? Who says? I mean, look. Who says I want the fucking the easier guy to fight?
Well, he is saying he's going to do it for charity,
most guys. Oh man! What else you got for us, Dave?
Come on, Dave.
All right, since Big John loves talking about the Paul brothers so much, we'll wrap up on this one. Jake Paul wanting the Conor McGregor fight. He says, when I knock out Nate Diaz, I think that Conor McGregor is going to see me, want a payday, and come and get knocked out. We can fight in the PFL, Smart Cage, whatever it is. I told everybody I would fight Conor in any form of fight because in my opinion, he is that shot. I'll do MMA. I'm not afraid to step in there. I've wanted to do that my whole career. I'm a wrestler background, so all I'd have to learn is some jiu-jitsu and some kicks, which seems pretty easy to me.
Another again, like if I'm in this weight class and you're in this weight class, no can do. I don't get it.
He's
man.
right about one thing.
I don't.
He's
get
right
it.
about one thing. He said it, and this cracks me up because he's actually a investor, a stockholder in the PFL.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to put down the PFL smart cage. But he said whatever that is, because the PFL smart cage is no different than anybody else's cage, other than it has more post, which makes it stupider. Okay, let's just be honest.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say. It's like
It's a cage.
you ever seen a grown man beg for a little attention from another man? Like that's exactly what we just saw. He's begging for that fight against Conor, and it doesn't look, dude. I don't know. He makes a lot of money. He does really well. Don't keep begging for that Conor fight. Conor's never going to fight you. He believes you're below his level. He also knows that you're a lot bigger than him. Conor makes the decisions. He's locked in with the UFC. It's never going to happen. Never. Yep. I mean, I get what you're doing. You're just keeping the PFL's name,
it's okay.
Coming out your mouth so people pay attention, but it's never going to happen. There was one last thing I wanted to say. Have you seen this new thing, Dave? I sent you over on a text. Can you pull this thing up for John to look at?
Oh, yeah.
This is the last thing.
Hold on.
This thing, John, in Vegas. This new thing called the Sphere. Have you seen
the
it?
Sphere. I saw that thing.
Holy
I saw that
shit,
thing.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's for, but
it's terrifying.
it's fucking awesome, John. They made this. They made it look like the moon, and people were driving past it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" They made it look like I don't know if that's the
sun,
Mars.
like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
is that the sun or is that Mars? But
Well, I
whatever it
don't know.
is, it looks pretty cool, man. And if you slide it to the right there, Dave, this shows you like different stuff on how it works. Yeah, look at that. You can do all sorts. And now I don't know what is it for. Can you go inside it? Like I don't know these things, but I
think it's a venue.
it's pretty damn cool. So is it like a fight
'Cause
venue?
they're
Like
building one in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia or something like that. They're building one over
So
there.
scroll
They
again
were
to the
just
right,
talking
because there's
about.
some other cool ones. Like you'll see one where there's a picture of, this is just like how
That's
it looks
it right
like during
there.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then at night, if you scroll again, they'll show you like the moon. Like it'll yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Like it's like
I've seen him do all kinds of stuff off of it.
that right there.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's freaking awesome. And the craziest thing is it kind of moves a little bit as you drive around it.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh no, they have it. It looks like it rotates.
yeah.
You know, and
It's
stuff.
pretty
It's crazy.
sick.
They can just do whatever they want with it. People are.
I'm going to look
Hey.
more into it. I just saw this right before we filmed, so I sent it over to Dave. I'm like, we got to talk about this thing because it looks fucking awesome. It's awesome.
It is freaking cool, but it's like it's one of those. Man, if they've got that thing there, where else are they putting those things up and stuff? Eddie Bravo used to be the biggest conspiracy theory guy I knew, man. I used to have so
Yeah.
much fun with him, and I used to always tell him he was so full of crap. And I got to tell Eddie Bravo,
You're
Eddie,
sorry.
I apologize. You're a genius. You were probably
Oh,
right
man.
about everything. You knew, I didn't.
Man,
Congratulations, you're the man.
this is dope, man. This is really cool. I'm excited to.
That is cool.
Next time I'm in Vegas, I'm definitely going to hang out there. And I want to know what it's for, though. Do you go inside and they have concerts inside? Like, I wonder what it's for. I'm going to have to look it up. I only saw this like minutes before we filmed. So I sent it off to Dave, and I was like, yeah, let's talk about this. I'm going to look into it a little bit more.
Well, they have those they have like those LED like screen nows that kind of fold. So you basically just build like a
Yeah.
structure, right? You build like a venue
Yeah.
and you just fold it
It's
over.
like
Like
it's
the,
exactly it's
yeah.
like, you know, the phones that fold now, but you open them up and they're big screen.
Yep.
It's the same stuff it's made with. These little.
All right. Well, hey guys,
People are
that's gonna
getting
wrap
too
up
smart.
our show for this week, and hopefully you guys enjoy the pay per view, man. Check it out. I think the main card's gonna be sick, but don't forget to check out Robbie Lawler's retirement fight. It is the main event on the prelims, and have a safe, blessed weekend. And John, go ahead, take us away. What happened to your light, John? Where'd you go?
I don't know. I'm getting, you know, it's because I'm getting tanner and tanner. It's just the way it is.
Jeez.
'Cause I don't look
getting-
jaundiced like you right
You don't
now.
look like jaundice like me. I'm all yellow. like it just came out of a
For
mama's
everyone out
womb.
there, have fun watching the UFC. You know what? Give them some money because those guys deserve it. Those are great fighters. And we enjoy it. Watching the show on Saturday. I will be watching it. Josh will be watching it. And We hope you have fun because we will see you.